And Stephen, your work is, there's mode of birth. Leah, a lot of your work is preparing people to have the best microbiome established for when they do give birth. Danny, you look at what can happen during the birthing process. Stephen, you work with parents, with researchers, with clinicians to look at, okay, depending on what type of birth you have had, what are the elements around how the microbiome may contribute to the health of that child.
When we're talking about the gut microbiome and health and everything like that, so that really starts off at birth. So the baby does need to be protected. You don't want to, as soon as they're born, you don't want to send them out in the middle of the soil and all of that sort of thing. That can come later. So you want them to be well inoculated with good bacteria that sets up the development of their microbiome. However, if that doesn't happen, if the mother does have to have a caesarean section, there is things that can be done to set up that good development of the microbiome. So the immune system needs to be trained. It needs to be taught what is good and what is bad. We want the baby to be exposed to bifidobacterium, so we think that's key. And bifidobacterium, its growth is supported by breast milk. So those two things together really protects the baby in the first 6 months while it's breastfeeding. And then, so the science around that is, sort of training the immune system, getting the baby in a good position where it can support itself. Because in the first 6 months, the baby, in a way, is still being supported by the mother's immune system, by antibodies in its blood and everything like that. But around 6 months, when you start introducing food, that's when the baby's, its immune system starts to take over. It has to support its own, it has to support itself in protecting itself against bugs. And this is important when you start feeding your child at around 6 months. Yeah, you want to be feeding them, I guess, good foods, the foods that the baby needs to support its growth, the nutrients. But also, yeah, you can sort of start thinking about feeding its microbiome. And there's nothing different from how you would, support your microbiome. So around about 12 months of age, the baby shouldn't essentially be eating anything different from you.